at a taco shop. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Well, there's Marley. For some reason, she really wants to pull today. What's the matter? You stay out of that. Come on. I guess there's some stuff that got killed. Yeah, the train just came by and not too much. Did some studying this morning, and there's the possum there. Well, she just still smells that kill. But did some studying this morning. I forgot to put in my dietary needs. I'm trying to die. I'm 250. That's too much for me. I'm only 5'10". Wearing one of the red shirts here. But anyhow, so there's some transitions going on. There was a rep or senator. She flipped. She realigned with the Republican Party because she was like, "Well, my values just aren't with the Dems anymore." She was of African heritage, and she said, well, she thought that her whole family were Democrats. She came to find out. She told everyone she was switching, and the reason being, found out that a lot of them voted Republican anyway. So, but I got a video on that. I don't even know how hot it is today here. I'll get that on the next little clip. But it's a nice, beautiful day. I mean, it's windy.
It's just some things that I had looked at that I just didn't agree with any longer. And one of the things was that I am just totally a pro-life, and I am about capitalism, and I am for funding the police. And so those things are what made me make my final decision. You know, when we are born, we're born into our families, and we kind of take on the trait of what our families are. And my parents were Democrats, and so that's what I was. It was never even thought or considered about changing to the Republican Party. But as I, retired from the military and started getting more involved in my community and started seeing things that were just not quite like I thought they should be, I decided to make a switch. And it wasn't an easy decision. I talked to family, I talked to friends, I talked to some of my constituents, and a lot of my family members are really Republicans as well. So it was not too hard of a transition at all. And now that I've done it, I am very much at ease with it, very much happy with my decision, and I'm enjoying being a Republican for the last 24
It's 81 degrees here. But there's another little deal coming out about another mishap in the Oscars. It looks like it happened like maybe in the 70s or something, because of just the attire and how they dressed, how everything looked all. There was a talk show called Mike Douglas, and and they all dress like really funny on that. But anyhow, I remember if I stayed home, that was always a TV show that I had to watch with my mom. But we didn't have big selections back then, so we had to play. We didn't have electronics. We used to make these dart guns that were like rubber band, and we used to make our own blowguns. I did mine out of PVC pipe, and I like burned it down there, burned a hole through it, and then sanded it out. And then you can put some oil in there and stuff, and then you make some darts out of sharpened bamboo. And you can put a little. I tried to. My dad wouldn't let me do too much with it, but I tried to make little broadheads with like coat hanger, because he used to make that stuff out of wires back then.
I think that's the first time there's been a double, isn't it? Best supporting actor and then the best leading one. If one reads the newspapers or listens to the news, it is quite obvious that the whole world is having a nervous breakdown. In the motion picture industry, we do not, thank God, contribute to the shambles by manufacturing tanks, flamethrowers, or rockets. We do something to try and help keep people sane. We turn out entertainment. The award for the best picture is never lightly given. And now, to divulge the contents of this year's most important envelope is a very important contributor to world entertainment, and someone quite likely
Okay, so I talked about the solid state battery, or I have been, and you know, and really, and that's kind of Toyota's thing. But what's screwed up about the whole thing is they can do what Tesla does and use the existing, but they use the existing frame and you know, and then retrofit a newer battery technology. But they're actually lobbying against the transition of electric, and that's kind of screwed up. I mean, because I don't know, man. It's just you know, it's going to make us dependent on the government, and you know, because all they have to do is turn off the power grid and we're done, man. We'd have to power our cars with generators. I mean, we could. There's a thing called an ossifier. If you can look it up, you can actually turn the exhaust of I think it's green wood. If you get a fire and then you catch the fumes from the green wood, and you carb it into a generator, and you can generate electricity like that, and you know, and then make electricity that way. But I guess that's some of the stuff that we're gonna have to look into. The ossifier. Red ought to look into the ossifier. We ought to tag team that technology and tell people how to develop it. Man, all right.
We have a manufacturing system. We've got a cell design. What are the active materials we're going to put in that cell design? Let's talk about the anode first. Let's talk about silicon. Why is silicon awesome? It's awesome because it's the most abundant element in the Earth's crust after oxygen, which means it's everywhere. It's sand.
Yeah. Sand is silicon dioxide.
Yeah. And it happens to store 9 times more lithium than graphite, which is the typical anode material in lithium-ion batteries today. So why isn't everybody using it? The main reason is because the challenge with silicon is that it expands 4x when fully charged with lithium. And basically, all of that expansion stress on the particles start cracking, they start electrically isolating, you lose capacity, the energy retention of the battery starts to fade, and it also gums up with a passivation layer that has to keep reforming as the particles expand. And current approaches to solve this, which exist, I mean, we have silicon in the cars that you're all in right now, are involved highly engineered, expensive materials in the scheme of things. Now, they're still great, and they enable some of the benefits of silicon. They just don't enable all of it, and they're not scalable enough. And you can see some of the things that maybe you've heard of, SiO, silicon with carbon, or silicon nanowires. I mean, that's kind of the space right now. What we're proposing is a step change in capability and a step change in cost. And what that really is to just go to the raw metallurgical silicon itself. Don't engineer the base metal. Just start with that and design for it to expand in how you think of the particle in the electrode design and how you code it.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if you saw this. Basically, $1 per kilowatt hours.
Yeah.
Basically, if you use simple silicon, it's dramatically less than even the silicon that is currently used in the batteries that are made today. And you can use a lot more of it.
And how does it work? Start with raw metallurgical silicon, stabilize the surface with an elastic ion conducting polymer coating that is applied through a very scalable approach. No like chemical vapor deposition, no highly engineered high capex solutions, and then integrated into the electrode through a robust network formed out of a highly elastic binder. And in the end, by leveraging this silicon to its potential, we can increase the range of our vehicles by an additional 20%, just this improvement.
Yeah, it gets cheaper and longer range.
Yes. So first, before we get too far into it, let's talk about what is in a battery cell. We've got the cap and the can, negative and positive terminals of the cell. When you open that cell, you've got a tab connected to those terminals, what we call the jelly roll, which is the wound electrodes on the inside. You can actually see what this looks like as you unwind it. This is over 1 meter long in a typical 2170 cell. So it's quite a long winding process. And you can see the tab still there. And then to explain what's actually going on here, we've identified we've got anode, cathode, separator, positive and negative terminal. Watch what happens as we, there we go, discharge the cell. Got lithium moving from anode to cathode, and then the reverse. When we charge the cell, anode moving from lithium moving from cathode to anode across the separator. This is the basic of what makes all lithium-ion batteries, whether they're no matter what the form factor is. And when we look at what's happened to date, at least in our products, we've moved from the 18650 form factor to the 2170 form factor through great collaboration with our partners.
So, yeah, I got a little taco shot picture. I just didn't get a bunch of stuff today. You know, like I said, I'm studying. Oh, Marley's going to get a Playmate. We've decided that we are going to purchase another blue healer just to keep Marley busy. They'll keep each other busy because we had that Belgian Malinois. He was just like almost the exact same age as Marley. And she would come in and sleep every night and didn't even want to play. She just wanted to be petted every now and then. So it looks like the best thing for Marley is to have another puppy. And that's what we're going to do. This one's going to be 4 months old. It's not going to be as pretty. This is like the last, these are the last 2 dogs in this litter. And so we're going to get Marley a Playmate. So I may want 2 dogs. I hope it ain't challenging because she's strong. I'm sure that other dogs can be strong too. But I'll put a picture of the 2 puppies that we're going to go look at tomorrow or Friday. All right. Talk to you later. Y'all have a good day. Please like, subscribe, comment below. I just didn't get a chance to get enough material. I mean, I really like this, the new car technology. I'm going to kind of delve more into it. And I'll probably look up the helium deal, to the helium cell or hydrogen cell. Hydrogen cell. That's pretty interesting technology too. And I'll look into that and kind of include that in future videos. All right, y'all have a good day. Like, subscribe, comment below. Tell me what you'd like to hear about. All right, y'all have a good day.